Hi, it's Lisa from the Dog Play and the Dog Learning Centre. I'm here with another vlog, and today we're talking about hormones within dogs. So I think most people will have heard of separation anxiety, and this is something that affects the brain and the body of a dog. It's a very, very serious topic, and I think a lot of people don't quite appreciate how serious it is. It's not something we can cover in a 2-minute vlog. We are doing a talking about event via Zoom on a Friday coming soon, so if you are interested, do get in touch with us and we can give you a slot for that. But in the meantime, I thought I would do a little vlog just to discuss the hormones and basically what happens to a dog. So dogs are very similar to humans with the emotions. Their brains are quite similar to ours as well, however obviously a lot smaller, and the frontal lobes of the dog's brain, where the sort of logic and rationale comes in, is a lot smaller than ours. So I tend to think people give their dogs more credit than they should when it comes to the thinking process. We humanise them quite often, and we will say, oh, well, they made that decision and they decided to do X, Y and Z and they thought it was best to behave like that, when actually that's not the case. So I think if we understand our dogs, their emotions and their hormones and the chemicals in their brains a little bit better, it would remove a lot of the frustration from our relationship. So dogs can suffer from anxiety and depression much in the same way that humans can. They also get a lot of the same medication for that issue. The reason I want to talk about emotions and hormones with dogs is because if your dog is under any amount of pressure or stress, those hormones, for example, the stress hormone of cortisol and adrenaline together, can stay in your dog's system for 20 minutes. Up to 7 to 2 hours. It's a long, long time for your dog or for anybody to be under pressure and stress, because it has nothing but a negative impact on the brain and also on the body. So, as I said, it's a huge topic. We can't cover it in a quick vlog. However, what happens is basically the neurons in the brain become damaged if a dog is left to cope with stress on its own over any length of time. So if that's a little touch of anxiety and we don't deal with it, it can then deepen and worsen into depression. What we need to do is get medication quite often, and the medication repairs the neurons, which is the receptors in the brain. So it works in the same way as human antidepressants does. However, if we leave it, it can't redress the imbalance, and again, it's similar to the way that it affects us humans. So if your dog is suffering from any kind of emotional trauma, under pressure or stress, anxious, or has separation issues, it's something really, really serious, and you do need to get that seen to, because it's not going to go away on itself. Similarly, if you don't fully understand it, I totally appreciate there can be a lot of frustration that you walk home through your front door, your dog's destroyed the carpet, the dog's tried to claw its way through the door to get to you, you're raging. Your dog's destroying your house and you're really angry, but actually your dog is going through a lot of trauma physiologically and psychologically. The dog genuinely and scientifically proven does not know if you are coming home. So if your dog is so terrified, and we know that dogs suffer chest pains when they're left on their own and they can't cope and they have any separation issues. So if you actually reverse that role and think, my dog does not know if I'm coming back, my dog is genuinely traumatised, you're less likely to be angry and you're more likely to understand. You're more likely to make alternative arrangements rather than leave the dog to go through that trauma on its own. You would then perhaps talk to a behaviourist, or you'd go and speak to your vet and say, look, is there something we can get to help the dog through? It's a massive topic. It's really serious. Separation issues, it's a huge conversation that we want to talk about, we want to teach more people about. But it's not just about separation issues. We want you to think about your dog's daily life. Does your dog actually enjoy going to daycare? I'm a daycare centre owner, so I understand exactly when dogs come in and they are liking it and they're not, and I'm not saying to somebody daycare is not for your dog, or your dog is not for daycare, for a variety of reasons. A dog comes in, much like children, they're going to bully. Well, that's going to have dogs X, Y and Z feeling terrified. Their emotions and the chemicals in their brains are going to change. We're not going to leave them like that. Dogs don't all get on, much like people, so we have to separate certain dogs because it's just not going to have a good impact on the rest of the group. So in a daycare environment, we're always looking out for behaviour and the chemicals, and assuming what's going on. How can we break this behaviour up? How can we reduce the chemicals? How can we reduce the arousal? It's not dogs should not just be left to do their own thing, much like children. If they do, they can often get into trouble. We certainly don't want dogs under any pressure or stress for anywhere from 20 minutes up to 72 hours. It's far too long for a mind and a body to be under that kind of pressure. So emotions and chemicals in the brain are hugely important to humans, but hugely important to dogs as well. So if it's a topic that you're interested in learning further about, please get in touch with us in all the usual ways, and we'll see if we can help you.